Joining me now, Tom Homan, former ICE acting director, and Francisco Hernandez, immigration attorney. Francisco, just in the last few days, Border Patrol has arrested the following. You ready? A previously deported convicted rapist, 3 previously deported violent MS-13 gang members, and 2 previously deported convicted child sex offenders. So how's there not a crisis down there that necessitates an emergency declaration?
You just said in your introduction that the vast majority of the people that they're catching crossing are women and children. But wait a minute. What happened to the first 2 years? Where was the emergency the first 2 years of the Trump presidency when there was a Republican majority? What happened to immigration reform? What happened to making Mexico pay for the wall? What happened to building the wall?
Well, Francisco, you know you need 60 votes in the Senate in order to get any sort of thing like...
No,
yeah, you do.
Don't.
For wall funding, you need 60 votes. They didn't have 60.
Well, look, we're down to enhanced barriers. I mean, come on, guys. Go ahead. He's already declared the emergency. Start building the wall. A resolution is not going to block his funding on an emergency declaration.
Okay, good. So I'm glad Francisco agrees. I'm glad you agree that the wall is needed and that he should go forward, Tom, with the emergency declaration.
Mexicans to build
Tom,
it anyway.
I just looked at the Washington Post here, and the Washington Post says this: illegal immigration in fiscal year 2019 is on pace to reach its highest level in a decade. What does that tell you?
It tells us the border's out of control, and there is a crisis on the border. And let's not forget, we keep talking about families, but we got to remember, the intelligence reports clearly show, in my 34 years doing this job, they will move these family groups to one sector to tie the Border Patrol assets up so the cartels can move narcotics and bad people to another sector. So this border crisis is a national security crisis because of what the cartels are moving once the Border Patrol assets are tied up with these family units. That's why it's important. It's just not a border crisis. This is a national security crisis.
Yeah, Francisco, what about the compassion for the young women or the children that are being exploited by the cartels?
Oh, that's true. Look, that's true. And you know I have nothing but the highest respect for Special Agent Homan. I got no problem with that. The problem here is if we just passed immigration reform, we can take care of the rest. But we are 6 years later.
But what does immigration reform mean? It means nothing unless you have a secure border.
Okay, fair enough, but let's put something on the table. We just keep talking about
the Republicans have put something on the table. The president and the Republicans have put border wall funding on the table along with common sense reforms. And the Democrats just reject it. They don't want to spend any money on actual security. They just want to do all sorts of smart walls. What is a smart wall, by the way?
It's not true.
What's a smart wall,
Francisco?
Francisco?
Get a chance to reject it. The Democrats didn't even get a chance to reject it because everybody was afraid of a filibuster. So nobody, not the Senate, not the Republicans, not Democrats, have sent anything to the president about immigration reform.
Francisco, let me ask you a question. When you have a party at your house, just let anybody in?
Yes. Well,
anybody,
no, I mean,
anybody can come in.
To control the guest list.
Okay, yeah,
so
you
can control the guest list.
You control the guest list, right? And how do you do that? By asking people who they are, by opening the door and closing the door to people that you don't think should be at the party. Why can't we just do that at the southern border and make our country secure?
That's exactly what we should do. That is exactly what we should do. And pass immigration reform so people don't have to come here illegally.
Okay, Tom, I think Francisco's on our side. I believe he believes in border security just as much as we do. Tell me about what your opinion is on these Republicans in the Senate who are not going along with this national emergency declaration.
They're failing their country. They're failing this president. Look, I'm not an attorney, but I certainly think the president has the authority given to him by Congress to move money from the Department of Defense to secure this nation's borders. He's protecting this country. And look, and I've heard some of the Republicans say, well, we don't want to do this because the Democrats may do it back to us, if they ever take the White House back. They've already done it. They've already done it. President Barack Obama said he couldn't pass DACA legislation. He says it was unconstitutional, couldn't do it, but he did it. Then when President Trump tried to undo the unconstitutional movement, he got shut down by the courts. So look, the gloves are already off. This president is trying to walk the walk. He's trying to secure this country like he promised American people. There's no downside on securing this nation's border. There's no downside on less illegal immigration, less drug smuggling, less children dying, less children being raped. There's no downside. Let's get it done. So I'm disappointed in the 4 Republicans so far.
Go ahead.
But Special Agent Holman, even if they pass a resolution, it's not a bill, it's not a law, it's just a resolution. It doesn't keep the president from spending those funds. They could try to take away the money, but they're not going to. So if President Trump means it, let's start doing it. But he's really just gaslighting this country on polar opposites for re-election. That's all it is gaslighting, and we're not serious about fixing this problem.
He's not building the wall to get reelected. I mean, he ran on building the wall. That was a promise he made to his supporters.
Securing this border isn't President Trump's success. It's America's success. If he fails on the border, America fails on the border. That's the argument here. President Trump didn't come up the wall by himself. He talked to the experts on the line, like myself, who spent 34 years doing the job. He's trying to secure this nation. That is his job as president. That's every Republican and Democrat's job. Unfortunately, some are failing the American people by not securing this country and have the opportunity to do that right now.
But real quick question before I let you go. Do you think you could get over a 30-foot concrete wall?
I can get under it with a tunnel.
No, it goes 10 feet deep.
Look, guys, we all know.
I mean, I know you're good at shoveling.
I
know you're good at shoveling, Francisco, but I don't think you're that good. I got to run, guys.
But you know what? We're the second half of the problem.
I got to run.
Let's stop hiring.
All right,
I
got to run.
Stop hiring.
Thank you.
Thank you.